Morning, y'all. So, my siesta at the Exodus house is coming to a close. I've been staying here since my friend JoJo's godmother was here, and it's been so awesome being here. Oh, there are people swimming in the water. It's been so awesome being here, like just being able to come out in the morning and sit or listen to the ocean roar in and roar out. Like, I never built this space for myself, so I never, enjoyed it as I did over these past few days. Just being here and, being in the house has helped me to see things that needed to be done, to focus on things differently, you know. But just overall, for its beauty and for its charm, this place is definitely healing. Just sitting quietly out here on the terrace. Oh wow. Okay. And watching the wildlife and the people, the fishermen on the beach. There's a little man down there on the beach. People going in and swimming. There's a fisherman setting his fishing net in the water. I don't think you can see him, but there are two of them setting their nets. Let me try to see if I can do that. One is on the left and on the right of like this tree. Like, one is there and one is here. And so they're setting their nets. And just being here, I kind of feel how the guests feel when they come here. Um, it I don't relate it as, oh, it's my property or it's my this. I don't relate it um in my head because I didn't build it for myself. So when I come here, I feel like a stranger. And so it took some time getting to know this, getting to know and love the space more, um, and appreciating all that it really has to offer. So just being here has helped me to see things so tremendously differently, not only about the property, but also about, my life and life itself. All right. Um, because when I started this project, I was in film school. I don't think people understand what I mean when I say I was in film school. I don't mean I was in just Zoom classes that you could just passively, oh, I attended the class and I attend. No, you actually had to do work, and you actually had to produce films, and you actually had to edit films. And in the middle of a global pandemic with a 4.5-year old, strapped to my hip, and to come here in the middle of all of that, and then smack in the middle of COVID-19, relocate to East Africa, a place I don't know and I don't speak the language. And 1 month after coming here, 1 month, I would dare say less than a month after coming here, I found this property, and it was nothing like this. Nothing, 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 nothing like this. And while in film school, I did this project. So my 2021, what year are we now? 2021 started out with me in film school under heavy construction. I was sick like every other week. I was sick. you know, just off of the stress, just off of the weight of what I was carrying. And I didn't want to give up one for the other. I chose documentary filmmaking because I knew I needed it, and I wanted it. And I had this vision in my head of what I was going to do with my documentary filmmaking. And, and a big part of that was teaching young Africans, and I say Africans because I didn't know I was going to end up in Tanzania, was teaching and educating others on how to use the camera, how to tell a story, this, that, and the third. So it wasn't not even necessarily to say I'm going to go and be this great filmmaker. It was just a tool. It was going to be a tool that I could use uh, as I navigated the continent. You know, the first was gem trading, but I got a full ride scholarship to film school. And so, the documentary filmmaking program was hectic. It was a condensation of about 4 years of information crammed into one solid year. And there were no extensions due to COVID. There was no forgiveness, there was no lateness, and they were out to get me because everything about me was about black and about reparations, repatriation. I came to tell the truth, or slavery. I came to tell the truth. And, and I got a lot of pushback from the faculty at school. And so by January 2021 rolled around, they were looking to exclude me from the program. They were trying to kick me out of the program. There was no like mercy, no concessions, no nothing. And under that stress, I was doing this construction. And on top of that, all of my all of my grant, I had gotten a grant to make a film on reparations, and that film could not be made because I had to go to different state legislators in order to do that film. And due to COVID, I couldn't make the film. I couldn't make the film that I went to film school to make, and I got the grant to make. And, so prior to coming to Tanzania, I said to the grantor that I am not in the position to make the film that I said I would make. And I would like to return the money because I need to leave America and I'm never coming back. And they said, no, what you do is you continue to film. You film every day. You tell your story. You tell this story. And so that's how the YouTube channel was born. If you go and you look at this channel, it begins in Qatar. It didn't start in America. It didn't start in Tanzania. It started in Qatar because there are several reasons behind that. And on my way here, because one, I knew I didn't want a YouTube channel. Two, I knew I didn't want to give up my privacy. I'm accustomed to doing things very, very quietly and privately. So I work. I will work, assiduously day and night. And I don't need to tell the whole world what I'm working on. I don't need to tell anybody anything. I just work. That's how I do, things. So starting the YouTube channel was not even a decision that I was going to, accept to say, okay, I'm going to do this. But once I started the channel and once I started to realize that I was documenting not just for the public or my friends or for anyone else, I was actually documenting for JoJo. I realized, then that this was something very important because I was chronicling her story. I was documenting for her exactly how we did it and what we did. And so that, that gave me a lot of passion to continue with the channel. And so off of that channel, it, uh, it gave me a lot of direction. But at the same time, like I'm telling to you now, when I started the channel, I didn't know what I was doing. A lot of people can watch my channel and come to Tanzania and copy the blueprint and say, well, we're going to start a YouTube channel. We're going to start interviewing people. We're going to open a house and let people back and encourage people back. A lot of people copy the blueprint, but it is a blueprint that I did not willingly choose. And it's a blueprint that I am still questioning because it opens you to so much, right? So what I will say for 2021 is I sure as hell did not know exactly what I was doing. When I started this Exodus House with YouTube as the marketing model, I did not know the kind of people that would come. And I've had the good, the bad, and the ugly. But what I really thought was, I just imagined that it was going to be people who had a spiritual connection to Africa and wanted to come to Africa. And unfortunately, a lot of people mostly had their own intent. Maybe they were running away from uh their partners, and so they had a different blueprint. And when you have people who are desperate, they come with a different kind of mindset. Excuse me. They come with a different kind. They're not thinking about the next person behind them. They just come to get as much as they can because they see their situation as desperate, and this looks like help, right? And they don't think about the next person coming behind them. So as much as that they can rip and do, they did, and so 2021 was a learning experience in understanding this business model. It's not like an Exodus House existed somewhere else, and I could follow that blueprint, or I can go back and I can say, well, she did this or he did that, and this worked and that didn't, and blah 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 blah. There was nothing like this. This whole entire experience was completely unheard of, and it took me down some paths that I would rather not repeat. So, 2022, I'm going to be, launching a different strategy for how I'm going to be doing this. The repatriation is not going anywhere, right? This whole entire place and this whole entire experience is going to be tied to the repatriation, okay? Because that's what I feel and I know in my spirit. But at the same time, Renee, the person, I have not been fulfilled. There's a lot of stuff still left in me that has not come out. And so I need to take some time to bring that great stuff out here, because I wasn't built for mediocrity. Mediocrity drives me nuts. And that's where I am right now in my business, in my life. I'm just at this level where all I'm doing is helping other people, guiding other people, supporting other people. And the things that I have invested and put into myself as far as an entrepreneur goes are not reaching their full potential, right? And the only vow I have made is the vow to take care of my kid, you know? That's the only vow. I have no vows to poverty. I have no vows to accept abuse. I have no vows to live a life less than what my God intended for me and what my DNA has designed for me, right? I have none of that, and I have no tolerances for for abuse as far as people and relationships and none of that. I don't have those tolerances because I know what was put inside of me. So I'm all for living your dreams and living your wildest dreams and whatnot. But that I'm beyond that, right? So I'm now more focused on seeing the work of my hands and the intent of my heart coming to full fruition in this 2022, right? So there is a very big difference between not knowing what the hell you're doing. There is no blueprint, there is no roadmap, there is no how am I going to do this. There is a very big difference between no experience and having the experience and saying I shall not repeat that experience, right? And so I got the experience that I needed in between June of 2021 and now December the 29th, 2021, right? That is all of 6 months worth of experience as far as dealing with hundreds of people, hundreds of families, repatriating, individual personality types, differential cultural types, attitude types, psychological types, you know. So I've had to come up with my own method for how to do things in a more structured way. And yes, some of the things that I have said from my experience have hurt me. Well, not necessarily hurt me, but people deem them as hurtful, right? Without actually understanding or analyzing that where I was speaking from was from a place of experience, right? And so now, in this 2022, I have a completely different objective. There are things that you're not going to see from me, and there are things that you're not going to hear from me, and there are things that you will probably be shocked to see what I do, you know. And so I feel like I'm halfway up the mountain, and I have to lay down some of my burdens. I have to lay down some of the things that were taking up my time, as far as this repatriation and moving people to a different level, reintroducing people to Africa. I feel like I have to lay down some of my burdens so that I can be able to pick up the lighter ones and pick up myself and pick up my kid and carry us onward up, because there is no help for me. Whereas I can help other people, there is no help for me, right? If I am not working, I am not eating. If I am not out here, trying to make the best for this property and people, I'm not eating. And it's not just me. I am responsible for at least 12 different families. I'm responsible for my employees and their families, right? So if I can't take care of me and JoJo and my employees, I don't have anyone to turn to. So I have to re strategize and recalculate exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and who I'm doing it with, right? So, I'm in a different place right now, and I'm so glad I spent some time here so that I could reflect and recalculate myself, right? So, for those of you who are looking to come, I saw where the US is lifting the ban on a lot of countries. I'm not understanding how the ban really affects people from traveling because JoJo's aunts were just here. People are still coming. People are traveling. So don't let that Omicron hold you back from coming to paradise and settling yourself, you know, and resettling and reconnecting to the continent, right? And this is just one of the gateways that you can do that here in Tanzania at the Exodus House. So I'm gonna go now. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope my little spiel helped someone so that they can rebalance and reflect for themselves on this 2022 and what they want out of it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.